This episode, Dude, Brett, JD, Tyler, and Jason taste through some new offerings from different distilleries. Find out what we think? Sit back, grab a pour, kick up your feet, and enjoy on this episode of the Bourbon Hunters.
Gather round the mic, it's time to unwind. Drinking our bottles, all that we find. With tastings and tales, we're sharing our pours. Tune in each week, there will always be more. Tune in each week, there's lots to hear. Laughter and stories, we're all here to share. We're giving our ratings, they're always fair. Sit back, grab a pour, kick up your feet and enjoy.
And while you're listening, head over to our website at bourbonhunters.com where you can purchase Bourbon Hunters glassware and products and sign up for our Patreon, which puts you on our list for single barrel announcements from our private barrel club.
Tune in each week, sit back. Tune in each week, grab a pour. Tune in each week, kick up your feet and enjoy. Kick up your feet and enjoy.
Welcome to another episode of the Bourbon Hunters. I am Dude Poole, and I am joined by...
Tyler Schaefer.
Corey Giggles.
Brian.
Jason C.
And
I almost forgot my name.
The host with the most, Dude Poole. All right, guys, we have a regular episode today. We have not had the guys back in studio in a long time.
The boys are back in town.
It's been over a month since we've all gotten together, I think. So this is kind of a...
Yeah, it's been a while.
JD and I had to do like a scramble and record like 4 episodes before I went on vacation. And so we were just kind of making shit up for a minute.
He
Just
didn't have to edit anything.
for once.
Really?
For once. He actually, I mean, you've met JD, right?
Yeah.
So you know
The
what that means.
filter's not always on.
You just didn't have anything clever to say that week.
No.
But no, it's good to have everyone back. We've got to celebrate this reunion. We've got a pretty good lineup of things in the glass.
Got a little catching up to do, if you will.
Yeah, we do. We've got Brett just got back from Hawaii. I just got back from Italy. Tyler just got back from. Oh well, nothing.
No, I leave in a week.
You're
Where you
about
going?
to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Hilton Head.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And then Mexico.
Let's see, JD, you have not been anywhere recently, right? And Jason, have you been anywhere recently?
No.
So it's just that Brett and I left you guys.
Oh, where
That's what it was.
did I go? I went somewhere. I just can't remember where.
You went to a trade show or?
Not yet. That's in July.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be in Denver for like a full week. But
Sunshine.
I did a barrel pick. That's where I was.
The big news, I mean, this is 3 weeks old by the time you hear this, but the big news for us right now, Old Elk being bought by Middle West Spirits.
That's right.
That's crazy.
What? I didn't hear that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shut up.
No.
Old Elk was
won't.
bought up by Middle West.
Yep.
Isn't that insane?
Are they completely dissolving?
F did I not hear this?
They have not given any information yet. We don't know. We don't know anything except for Old Elk has been acquired by Middle West.
The only
much?
thing that was said is that all the inventory that Old Elk has is now owned by Middle West.
I love it. I think that's awesome.
Yeah,
Like,
it was surprising to me.
just where it's always been in like our backyard and everything.
Yeah.
You don't ever think that they're gonna like be that big to buy Old Elk.
Right.
So I'm super happy for them. Super supportive and
I think what people kind of don't understand about Middle West Spirits is they're the largest distillery in Ohio.
Yeah.
Like they're a big distillery. People don't realize how big they actually are. So they've got Greg Metz now. I guess. I mean, is he going over with it? Are they just acquiring barrels? I would imagine you're acquiring Old Elk. You probably want the name. I feel like nationally, Old Elk's probably more recognizable than Middle West Spirits.
Well, when the original press release came out, it was positioned as Middle West gaining more footprint with Old Elk.
Yeah.
So utilizing Old Elk,
They're already existing
footprint, their marketing, their distribution to get Middle West out to more places.
Well, and here's the thing. Like, if they own Old Elk now, can they distribute to more states because of the Old Elk acquisition immediately?
Yeah, because you can just kind of piggyback on to that
Right.
or switch it over or transition to whatever they were using.
And I don't think Middle West
Yeah.
was in 50 states yet, so maybe with Old Elk and the two together, maybe they'll hit 50 states, too.
I think so, too.
Are we going to
Yeah.
see some MGP and Middle West blends? Some
I don't know.
I mean, that's what my question was, because they are they have a lot of wheat whiskeys, wheated bourbons, and I think that goes well with what Middle West
Middle
makes,
West already has,
which could be kind of a good symbiotic relationship there.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, the only difference is even so the Middle West spirits, it's a 4-grain bourbon. I think their rye whiskey is also a 4-grain. Mm-hmm. I don't think their wheat whiskey is.
No, 2.
But still, it's a little bit of a different, but blends and things like that, I think maybe coming up with some unique products, like similar to what Bardstown was doing with the discos and different things like that. Maybe they'll have some combination releases with some MGP. And
I think everyone wants to talk about the whiskey first, but I think for this is just going to galvanize the infrastructure more of Middle West.
Yeah.
It's setting them up for big things down the line, I think, a little bit more.
Well, and are they going to get access to Greg Metz, too?
That would be pretty wild.
I mean, that'd be pretty sweet. He lives in Cincinnati.
I don't see why they wouldn't.
That'd be kind of neat.
But I think it's just building something for Middle West as almost a launch pad to get things bigger and better here.
Well, it's a nice story in the... I guess the atmosphere right now of some things like going the opposite direction, going out of business, or limiting your production or laying off people or whatever, and they're acquiring and expanding. So that's kind of a nice, alternative to what we've been hearing a lot in the news recently. So I think, to me, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a trend. I think we're going to still see more of this. Not so much
acquisitions, you mean, or
acquisitions and also contractions.
Yeah,
I mean, we already. We've seen Brown-Forman do it a bunch. Brown-Forman just announced, what was it, just this past week, that, I forgot what they announced. They announced something. Something happened in the news with them, too.
Well, a couple months ago, they announced the stopping of their cooperage.
Stopping their cooperage.
And then laying off a few people from that and stuff like that.
So I've heard from many credible sources. I'm not saying this is lock, stock, and barrel, but I've heard from many credible sources that Cooper's Craft 100 and Cooper's Craft 80 proof are going away.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
Well, think about it. It was based on the cooperage. Yeah. It was a Cooper's Craft. It was kind of a cooperage brand.
Right.
Now, if the cooperage goes away, it goes offline.
That makes sense.
Kind of makes sense, but I'm sad because that's one of the best 100 proofers.
Well, and it's a sleeper.
It's an absolute sleeper.
Like, I have one back there, and I barely ever touch it, but like every time I do, I'm like, oh, I always
forgot how good this is.
Yeah. But interesting. Yeah, let's have a pour of something. Jason Woodall, I know you. Bit surprise. Yeah. But you brought some stuff over to share with us.
I brought a hodgepodge of things.
A hodgepodge.
So really exciting stuff. So you guys listening can, wet your whistle a little bit. Give you a little preview.
Whistle while you work.
So I got the new Old Fitz Bottle and Bond 7-year.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
The kind of call it the half decanter.
The half decanter.
Yeah, it's not.
Well, I mean, it's got remnants of the original
qualities.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So the cork. Even the cork. That's what I was going to say. The cork's
Is it a real cork?
It's no, it's not a real cork.
Oh, but they borrowed from the original Old Fitz,
But what's kind of interesting is they took the cut glass cork, the diamond cut, but they did it to the wood topper on this bottle. Just kind of a nice little callback. We got the brand new Maker's Mark Star Hill Farms American Wheat Whiskey, which is probably the newest thing Makers has done in years.
So when we were at Makers doing our barrel pick, they were bottling that.
Oh.
And we were able to look in the window and see them bottling it, but we couldn't tell what it was because they didn't know. They were like, can't tell you what it is, but it's our first new product in a long time.
Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
No, I mean, the lady told us, she's like, you can't say anything about it. She's like, you'll find out about it soon enough because we're about to announce it.
Yeah.
She's like, but they're in there bottling it right now.
That's cool.
And we were like, we're trying to see. Yeah. You remember that, right?
Oh, yeah.
We got the 2025 Michters 10-year single barrel bourbon. These are always fun to try.
Yeah. The last one we had from you was outstanding.
And I got the Calumet 18 here.
Oh, that's
the beautiful trophy bottle.
That's a very pretty bottle.
So nuts, and the packaging that comes with it is insane too.
Yeah, and then I don't know, just for shits and giggles, I also have I have a Nashville Barrel Company seal box collab. This is 20-year-old George Dickel.
You don't happen to have...
And I have the Blood Oath, newest...
nice.
The
newest
tequila one?
The tequila finish, if we want to get into. So
you didn't happen to get the decanter Calumet Farms, did you?
No. I mean...
That's sitting there, and it's so silly looking,
but you could still walk in and buy it.
Oh, no, they're sitting at the Giant Eagle that we go to.
It's just too much money, but I get it.
They had all three of them sitting there. They had that one. They had the 17-year, maybe? Mm-hmm. Which one is that? 18?
That's the 18.
What was the other one they came out with?
17.
17, and then
there was also a Calumet Rye.
Okay, I didn't see that one.
The decanter, and there was one other one. I just can't remember. I think it was
they
5
had the
releases.
decanter and the other 2 high age ones,
Yeah.
which were pretty cool. I mean, the decanter's neat looking. It'd be a cool shelf thing to have, after you drink. But like, how do you pour out of it? Like,
So like every new year, every
looking.
new year on the channel, I always do like my request for the new year, and I always bring decanters back. And Calumet did, but they just priced it at like $400.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's
no,
really
bring
priced
decanters
out of there.
back, but price it like you did back in the 80s.
And adjust for inflation, but still price it.
I
Like,
get it, yeah.
I
Bring
mean,
back the bowling pin.
Yeah.
the bowling pin would be cool. The bowling
I
pin
want
would be
the
cool.
old school turkey decanters with the actual like turkeys in like different positions.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, that's what I want.
A little button you could press where it makes
Yeah.
that noise.
Exactly.
That would be awesome.
Instead of Blanton's Horsey's toppers, you're getting all the turkeys in different positions.
All right, so let's start with the Old Fitz Weeder.
Yeah, let's do the Old Fitz. That sounds good.
Old Fitzy.
So,
where are you going?
I don't know where he just got up and left.
Yeah, I guess he had enough.
Well, maybe he doesn't like Old Fitz. I don't know.
Kind of walked down a rush. Is he all right?
You know what? Did I hear him say Code Brown?
Shark stories.
I was just gonna say.
Did he say Code Brown?
He
on the way out?
either got a like a stern text message from his wife, or he had to shit himself.
Well,
One
if
of
he
the
doing
others.
come back down, we know he shit himself.
All right, here, pass it
So,
around.
If he's not back in 10
listeners,
minutes-
if he doesn't come, if you don't hear from Tyler the rest of the episode, that means he shit himself.
All
If
right,
he's
so-
not back in 10 minutes, call the police.
Wait a little longer.
So here's the speaking of short stories, as you pour this out, I was going to Lowe's, as you all know. I think I've talked about it on the podcast. My basement backed up with shit water again. So
Again?
a couple months ago.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, you know about this. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So my wife and I were going to Lowe's to get some new flooring, pick it out and get it replaced because this has all been contaminated with shit. So anyway, we're on our way. I'm pulling into the parking lot and I'm like, Trina, we need to go back home. I've got to take a dump. And she's like, oh, you can't hold it? I'm like, I don't think so.
You won't go in Home Depot? I mean, sorry, Lowe's.
I mean, I might go in Home Depot, but I definitely won't shit in Lowe's.
Home Depot's got nice bathrooms.
So you're like shit break from American Pie.
Well, if I can get home field advantage, I'm going to take home field advantage. I mean,
How far is Lowe's from here?
5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Just
But it was the
pinch it off.
longest 5 minutes of my life.
Oh man, were you pinching?
Oh,
Were you
I was practicing
clenching?
my anal Kegels, and so my wife
He's
is
sitting
like,
in the front seat.
Boy, wait. Anal Kegels.
I don't have a vagina.
No, I know,
And you
but-
know what poop comes out of, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Sphincter.
He's sitting in the front seat. I will not shit.
So I talked to Trina and I'm like, oh my God. She goes, you look like you're giving your O face. I was like, no, I'm not trying not
Get my
to.
pee face.
No, I said, I'm trying not to bust an O-ring, because she said O face. She goes, what's an O-ring? I said, you've never heard of a fucking O-ring? I was like, the space shuttle? She's like, so she was thinking an O-ring was an orgasm ring. Like you put it on your penis or something. So she looks up O-ring, and the first things that come up are like, O-rings, but not
Gaskets, yeah.
specifically to the space shuttle.
That was a callback though.
Yeah.
O-ring, space shuttle.
Yeah.
Okay. Challenger. Wow.
Right. So,
I knew where he was going with that.
Yeah. I mean,
but she thought O-ring meant like something like sexual, and so like we're dying laughing on the way home because she's looking it up and
He's prairie dogging laughing.
and I'm
like,
yes,
stop.
so I'm not only fighting shitting myself. I've got my wife uncontrollably laughing in the seat next to me, and so that's just making it worse because now I'm seeing her laugh, and you know how laughter's
yeah,
infectious,
it can
right?
get infectious. Yeah.
So I'm trying not to laugh, and that's making it tougher to hold my shit. And then I honest to God, as I'm parking the car, I'm unbuckling my
Seatbelt?
No, well, my seatbelt, but also my actual belt around my pants, so that as soon as I get, because right inside my garage door is my bathroom, and I'm not kidding, just as skin touched plastic, it was on. It was, think of Jackson Pollock, right? It was in the style of Jackson Pollock.
All right. Back to this whiskey.
Yeah.
he was making like a baby and heading out.
It was bad. It was bad.
Smells sweet.
Oh, yeah.
The bourbon, not the poo.
I haven't released that on you guys yet.
I get tons of strawberry on this.
Oh man,
So much strawberry.
you can tell it's a weeder, the softness of the nose, but yeah, I'm definitely getting some strawberry there. Maybe that's
Strawberries and cream.
Tricks cereal.
strawberries and cream.
Trick cereal. Yeah.
Ooh,
Well, it's fake strawberry.
that's a good one. Yeah. Strawberry.
But I could see that it does have a little bit of like a cereal quality to it for sure.
So this is 100 proof, I'm assuming, right?
100 proof, bottle and bond, 7 years. Some of the details I got is that this bottle, there were some rumors going around that this bottle was going to replace the Heaven Hill bottle and bond.
I hope not.
I don't know what idiot started that rumor, but that's not true at all.
Okay, good.
This is actually meant to be released as the companion bottle for that one.
Okay.
So you have a 7-year bourbon, now you have a 7-year wheater.
Nice.
Retail for this is going to be $60.
Perfect.
Which
It'd
is
be
a
fun
nice,
to do
which is a
those.
nice price point and a nice bottle for the price point.
In a blind, like head them up. You know what I mean? Do that in Heaven
They're
Hill.
they're
bottle
pretty
bottom.
different. I did that already. It's like when you have them together, it's a little peanut butter and jelly.
Oh, you blended them?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, just having them next to
I
each
gotcha.
other.
And they're both 7-year.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both 7 years, so it makes sense. And then there will be.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry, there will be two releases a year, kind of like the way they do the full size decanter, the limited ones every year. They'll do a fall batch and a spring batch.
Do you think the profile will change a little bit with those?
It could maybe.
It will
I'm sure
probably align.
I'm sure something like this they're going to try to blend for consistency. Any shelfer they
But if
usually
they're doing
do.
2 batches a year, they'll probably try to they'll probably align a little bit more to like a Larceny, like batch proof or barrel proof, spring and fall or something like that. I would think there'll be some differences. I mean, Heaven Hill definitely I think is pretty well known for having different flavors at different releases of the year. You know, so I can't imagine that would be any different.
Yeah, it's really fruit forward to me. I love it.
A lot of caramel on those too.
I get Captain Crunch berries. That's what I get.
Oh yeah, the berries of this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're just going
You wanna-
full ham on cereals. I love this.
I don't know why.
you just made the roof of my mouth raw.
There's that Family Guy skit where it cuts away to him, like to the captain. He's like, "My cereal does not make your mouth raw," and then it cuts out real quick.
Oh, really?
Because they have all those little cutaways.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
all the time.
That show is brilliant.
Dude,
Yeah.
Captain Crunch is just, I don't know. They put some kind of, I felt like always,
An addictive chemical in it that makes you crave it fortnightly.
It was felt like
Jackass.
Clark Griswold worked at the company that
Oh,
made
the varnish, the
the
So
cereal
yeah, because
varnish.
it doesn't get soggy.
yeah.
It's a non-nutritive,
enhancer.
It's permeable. Or
What was it?
something.
semi-permeable,
What do you call it? The crunch wasn't something
Crunch
about
saver. Or
crunch
something?
enhancer. I thought
The crunch
Crunch
enhancer.
enhancer. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
it's a non-nutritive.
Yeah. That's what he used on crunch berries
yeah.
because that you could leave that shit in a bowl of milk for like 2 hours, it'd still be crunchy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what this is close to,
Semi-permeable.
but not as elevated? Notorious Strawberry. Your Frey Ranch pick.
The
Oh, I
notorious
could see a little-
strawberry.
Strawberry, that's how you say it.
Yeah.
This is good.
I'll definitely
Not
look
good.
for these. Yeah.
I mean, that's
Definitely look for this. And it's pretty on your shelf too, right? In addition to being a good
It's
bourbon.
super sweet. It's approachable.
how
You went higher register there.
how decanterish would this be? Can you turn it into decanter when you're done?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think the other one looks better, but you can
No, of
definitely
course,
turn
but
this.
I've never gotten the.
I know, but you could turn this into a decanter.
I've never gotten the other one.
I have an empty bottle home. You can take it.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking of taking all the Heaven Hill samples that they send me of the actual decanters and then just filling it over
sounds
time.
kinda
Yeah,
cool.
a little infinity,
Yeah, a little infinity.
sample bottle.
That's the 13-year, the 9-year, the 8-year, a little bit
A
everything.
Heaven Hill sample infinity. Mm-hmm. Would that include wheat too?
All
Or would it
wheat,
all be
all the-
wheat?
all the
It would
wheats.
all wheat all the time.
All the wheat all the
Interesting.
time.
You know, I have my Infinity Russells. I've got to. That's getting low because I know you keep drinking out of it.
Which one?
My Infinity Russells.
He's like, what are you talking about? I don't know what you mean.
I need to get. I need
What'd
to
you
get
talk about, Willis?
a couple more of your Russells when you get around to them. I keep missing because you keep releasing on a Friday, right when I'm coaching. And then
Sorry.
they're gone. They gone.
We're picking
They-
three.
they're-
We're picking 3 more in August.
They're always
nice.
they're always raw in 60 seconds.
3 barrels? In
You're doing
August?
3 Russells.
You doing all bourbons or you doing a rye?
I think it's 3 Russells. I just know it's 3 barrels again because
Nice.
they just sell so fast all the time.
Oh, they do. It's ridiculous. Your last couple I haven't gotten because of that. All right, let's move on. This is good. I enjoy this. This is
You'd buy this for 60, right?
Oh, for
Fuck
sure.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
so good.
Absolutely.
No,
what's a
between-
7-year bottled and bond Old Fitz? I'd buy it for
Which one do you
$60.
prefer, the Heaven Hill or do you prefer the Old Fitz?
It's not in my glass, so I don't know.
It depends on my night, man. It's just like
There are nights
you
I
feeling?
prefer a wheat over the softness of a wheat
I'm
and
not
a
a
little
big
bit of the
weeder.
funk.
I'm not a big weeder guy, but I really enjoy this.
I see it for me. It's got to be a certain night. There are certain nights where I really am a big wheater guy. Like your Ben Holiday. Those wheat ones, the red soft wheat. I think it was.
Yeah.
Oh,
Rick House proofs.
outstanding.
They're so good.
Yeah, that was so good.
What I think this for me is a hair disappointing is that the finish has just gone so fast.
Oh yeah, the
Well,
finish definitely fall. But
I feel like wheat kind of does that, and it's only 100 proof.
I mean, based on our Mouth Experience Monday episode with the Old Weller Antique, that one kind of lingers.
You put the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
I do that all the time. I think it's from where I'm from, out east.
The Weller Antique.
I'm closer to the Jersey area. You're Long Island.
Queens, Long Island.
You know what's funny about that is my wife always, instead of saying a pit bull, she always says a pit bull. And I'm always like, what the fuck? What just happened? Yeah, like it's weird.
Pit bull.
It's weird. All right.
This is the when I did the head-to-head with the Heaven Hill, the regular Ballon, and you definitely get more of like that Heaven Hill nuttiness in the Ballon compared to this. That's why I was like, it almost comes off like peanut butter. Then you have like the strawberry,
that makes sense.
jelly jamminess of this.
Yeah.
It's a nice little
Jelly jammy.
nice little
Strawberry jam.
Yeah, little strawberry jam. I like the crunch berry analogy.
Yeah.
That's good.
Jammy Jam.
All right, let's get into the. Let's do the. Speaking of wheaters, let's do the wheat whiskey.
Please do.
While you're talking about jelly jammers, do you know the difference between jelly and jam?
Oh my God.
Damn, I know this.
I can't jelly my dick into your ass.
Nah, that's right.
No, one's made with preserves. That's the difference.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, it really is.
Oh, that's weird. My priest was telling me the wrong story.
Do you know how ladies control their liquor?
They
grab onto the ears.
They give them sex. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know about your joke sometimes.
Well, none of you guys are vegetarian, right?
No.
Okay. Do you know what the hardest thing about eating a vegetable is?
Moving their legs.
Getting them out of the wheelchair.
Yeah.
Wow. Sorry, Jesus.
Was Jesus a vegetable? Why would
No.
Jesus be offended?
The one
lightning's gonna strike.
version I heard was, what's the hardest part of a vegetable to eat? And it's the wheelchair.
That's not part of the vegetable.
Do you mean
you understand how biology works, right? That's an actual just thing that they're sitting in.
But they're like in a vegetative state, aren't they?
The wheelchair's not.
No, they are.
So what?
So
if you're
it's
eating the
all
vegetable,
one unit.
why would you eat the wheelchair?
Because they're all one unit.
That's like eating the peanut shell and the peanut.
Do you? Okay, I'm gonna switch gears a little bit. But when you go to like baseball games, do you ever get a bag of peanuts?
Yeah.
Do you ever put the whole shell in your mouth?
Chew it up and then spit out the shell.
Like it sounds weird, but like I'll like suck the
Some
salt
people
off of
do
it and
to
then
eat
crunch
the
the
salt.
shell,
Oh, yeah.
I've
and
seen
then like
guys
a
I got a report. Yeah.
Yeah.
what I want to call a sunflower seed.
It kind of enhances the flavor a little bit because
especially like the spicy ones.
is that a
weighty.
hefty? So we're doing the Star Hill Farms weeded whiskey.
Yes.
What's the
You're
proof
my
on
team,
that?
Brett.
Is it a
sorry,
cask
sir?
strength or what is that?
It's a nice little proof. It's,
didn't hear that.
I think it's
you were on my
100,
team.
116, 112. What is it? 112?
114.7.
right in the middle.
I was going to say
114.
116 would be pretty high for a
114.
Maker's Mark distillate. Because they put it in, they do a little bit of a lower entry proof usually, right?
Yep.
Is that a marble cork?
Marble.
Well, obviously not the inside, but doesn't that look like
Oh, the
marble on the
top.
outside? The,
The
topper
top.
of the cork. Sorry, the topper is what I meant to say.
I was like, I don't think the cork's
The
made
top.
of marble, man.
I can't wait till Brett gets his people schnoz into this glass.
Doesn't that look like marble?
It kind of looks like it, but I bet it's like a.
Get a chisel.
What's so funny?
It's just
I have to put the lid on.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to put the marble cork back in.
Maybe it's quartz. I don't fucking know.
It could be quartz. I bet that's quartz. That's probably more likely.
quartzite.
All right, so a little background on this. Star Hill Farm American Wheat Whiskey is a project that was put into barrels beginning in 2016. The first non-bourbon from Maker's Mark since 1953.
Damn.
Now, let me ask you this. At 1953, were they making a non-bourbon?
They did they make rye at some point? I felt like somebody was
I
doing
thought
that.
they started in 1953.
What, Bill Samuels, or was
It was more of a
his
trick question.
Dad?
So it's actually two wheat whiskey mash bills. One is 70% wheat. The other is 30% malted barley. I'm sorry, 70% wheat, 30% malted barley, and the other mash bill is 100% malted wheat.
So this is two different
wow.
mash bills.
Yep.
You know what I find interesting is the label is made from recycled paper and weeded fibers.
It's called sustainability.
And these grains.
Weeded fibers.
Weeded fibers?
That's what it says on the label.
All right.
Isn't this wheat grown in their own?
Probably.
Yeah, it's all in
farms?
there, Star Hill Farms. So matured separately and then blended. The derived mash bill displayed on the front label of the vintage will vary by the ratio of the mash bills in the blend. It's the showpiece of their broader commitment to regenerative agricultural research. Their corn and wheat suppliers are certified regenified.
Why do we care about their corn suppliers? This is a wheat whiskey.
It's also the first ever
zero
distilled
corn.
spirit with a state whiskey certification, which requires a minimum 2/3 of the grain to be grown on an estate-owned or controlled land.
Right. We talked about that while we were
yeah.
on site, actually. They talked about how they can call it, farm to glass or whatever you want to call it, as long as there's a certain percentage. I think it was 2/3 is what you just said, right?
Yeah, so we have...
This
let's
is
see.
dark, by the way. This is a
Yeah,
nice color.
that was the first thing that struck me when I poured this, at how dark it was.
Yeah.
How old is it?
And it's got a nice nose. If it's a wheat whiskey, it's got to be over 6 years.
Well, went in the barrel in 2016.
So, yeah. I mean, wheat
So 9 years old?
typically
Ish.
matures a little slower. So that's a nice age. Is this going to be a shelfer, or is this a limited release?
According to this, it looks like it's going to be an annual release. And
So every
and
year
the
they're
mash bills or the blends could vary a bit.
Oh, so next year it might be a 69, 20, or 31.
Yeah. Or no, I mean it could be like a different blend, I should say. I don't know about the
Oh,
mash
percentage
bills.
blend.
Yes.
70-30 still, but yeah,
Correct.
that would make more sense.
Yeah,
that
correct.
they'd use the same. And then
So
just
retail
blend it
price is
differently.
$100 for a bottle, 114.7 proof.
So one of the blends is 100% malted wheat, and the other one's 70-30.
Yep.
Malted barley with wheat.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. So malted wheat, would that still be considered a wheat whiskey? Right?
Yeah, it's still a wheat whiskey.
Yeah, because
Yep.
it's even though it's malted, it doesn't
Doesn't
really,
matter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did
Okay.
you get into this yet?
But man,
The nose
the
is
nose
outstanding.
is
It's like punches you in the face, man.
Yeah.
In a
I
good
love
way.
it.
In a good
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
It's like that, punch that. Never mind.
I'm getting.
and again, coming off the Old Fitz, I feel like this is very.
I
feel like it's very fruit forward, but everything is coated in like this caramel.
well that malted malted wheat probably adds like a nice textural flavor.
It's like a burnt brown
Textural?
sugar a little bit.
I get a heavy sarsaparilla on the palate.
Oh, I haven't drank it yet.
Sarsaparilla.
Root
Whoa.
beer.
That's like root beer.
right? Oh my
Wow,
god!
it's very root beer.
Yeah, but it's a sweet root beer. It's almost like a
birch beer.
Bargs versus Mug type of thing.
Mug's gross.
But you know what I'm saying, right? Like
I don't listen to a lot of root
You're
beer.
so mad at Mug, Jesus.
I know,
is
right?
Mug is gross.
It mean mugged him.
Dun-dun.
You made me Jim Brewer laugh. Anyways, Mug root beer is disgusting.
I don't dislike any root beer. I love Freddy's root beer. I love IBC. I love Bargs. I love Mug. I can drink any root beer.
Doc Brown's is the best root beer.
Have you ever gone to one of those
Doc
festivals?
Brown's. I never had that.
Doc Brown's is good, yeah.
Go to New York and immediately go to Katz's Deli.
Yeah.
Get a Reuben with pastrami and corned beef, and
that.
get a cream soda
So you're
or
not a
root
big
beer.
root beer fan, are you?
I just got to be in the mood for it.
Yeah.
What about the
You know what I mean?
candies, the little barrel candies?
Have any of you guys ever been to like a festival like Red, White, and Boom, anything like that, where they bring in the old timey root beer thing,
And the
you
Yellow
can
Jackets?
you buy the little can like the old school sit around the fire, campfire in the Old West. It's almost like a mule glass, but it's old tin. It's like beat metal or whatever you call it, hammered. Whatever metal,
yeah.
and you can take that and you keep going back the whole day. You get free refills as long as you buy the cup.
It's like
That's
a tin
kind
cup,
of
I'm assuming. Like
kind of tin. That's probably what it is. It's like a hammered tin, but that's what this reminds me of, is that kind of root beer, is that old timey. It's not even really carbonated too much. It's almost like a flat beer.
See, I get it. I could see where you're getting the root beer.
Yeah.
but I get like that. It's almost like a toasted breadiness to it from that malted wheat, and then
That's the
that
texture
bread,
for
yeah.
sure.
that breadiness
Yeah.
is there for sure.
put a little
And
bit
it's
of
a texture too.
put a little there's like a berry jam note and honey and but that toastiness it has.
It's almost like a whole meal.
Yeah,
Like you're having a sandwich and washing it down
Yeah.
with a root beer.
kind of is. Yeah, the root beer, but yeah, root beer is something that has definitely kind of emerged. And I'll tell you this: when I first cracked open that bottle, when I first poured it, I was not a fan because it was so wheat grain forward. But I mean,
it's had a chance to oxidize a little bit and open
this
up.
bottle is a prime example of how bourbons and whiskeys can change with a little bit of airtime.
Yeah.
And anybody that says they don't change is full of shit.
No, I
Because-
cannot stand that.
Yeah.
people are always making comments on forums and stuff. I'm like, you're
Like,
just
no, you're full of shit.
uneducated.
No, I mean,
Full of shit's work. Tomato, tomato.
This bourbon has changed and gotten better.
Whiskey.
I'm sorry, it's
not a
whiskey.
bourbon.
That's all right. It's a
not
wheat
a
whiskey.
bourbon.
It's not a bourbon.
You know who's not full of shit anymore? That guy.
As a matter of fact, I am
callback.
full of shit right this minute. I have not shit all day. I'm fucking.
That's a
I don't know what's
terrible
going on.
morning.
It's horrible. Well, I hurt my back in volleyball yesterday, and for whatever reason, I think it's sending like these pain
the poop nerve, that's what's
receptors.
wrong.
Well, I think it's sending like a pain receptor into my brain, and it's not allowing my core to relax, which is also not allowing me to pass my poo.
Wow.
I have the same problem right now with my sciatica, where it like hurts to push.
Yeah.
I'm going to New York next week, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah?
Speaking of
Upstate.
shit,
Upstate New York. Upstate
not
New
New
York.
York.
though. Not New York City. I'm going to the Finger Lakes.
That's the country.
Oh,
yeah,
there's a
you going
distillery
to
up
go
there.
visit the Thousand Islands?
I'm going to finger all the lakes.
Yeah, you are. I know a family up there named Lakes.
Nice.
Wait.
I hear they're awful wet.
Jesus, Bethany. Did the room clear out?
There are some breweries
He
I'm
meant
going to check out. I didn't know there was
Well,
a distillery.
Finger Lakes Brewery or distillery is where Pursuit gets their New York stuff.
Oh,
Yep.
I'll check it out then. Why not?
They
is
finger
true.
them like lakes.
Finger them lakes.
So yeah, this
is good.
This wheat whiskey has really impressed me. I actually like this over the 19-year Heaven Hill wheat whiskey that was released.
Wow.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Just because there's
Which
more
the price point on that was what? 300?
300.
300.
And this is
100.
This is 100? Oh.
This is super unique.
I
That's
would buy this
reasonable.
all day.
It's super unique. It's the most
And it's 9
the most,
years old, you said?
Well, yeah, barreled in 2016.
So it might be 8 and some change, but
Ain't
it's
some
around,
around that
9 years.
around that years. But I think this is the most interesting thing Maker's Mark has done in quite a long time.
Yeah. It's a very unique
Well,
taste. The
it's
bottle's very.
immediately by default the most interesting thing because it's the only non-bourbon.
It's the
they've
only
done.
yeah, and plus it's
For
the
almost 75 years.
yeah, it's just different and. You know, because they tend to kind of do the stave thing over and over, and right, it just evolves.
It
I
gets
just
better.
got an interesting fruity burst of flavor as a finish, like as a the end of the drink. Like I'm sitting there and I was getting ready, and I was like, ooh.
And it doesn't have that limestone warehouse sour note that I get on some of the other. Like the cellar age has that for me big time.
Oh, you do? Really?
Yeah, because cellar age spends half its life in that limestone rickhouse.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm like licking the limestone wall. Just weird.
That's interesting. I've never thought about that.
Yeah.
I've never thought about licking limestone.
Well, next time you go, you should do it.
I'm going to do
You
that.
might get kicked out, but you should try it.
I'll wait till after
You
everything.
just see him licking the walls.
Give me a
I'm
helmet.
picking my barrel.
Give me a helmet and some crayons, and I'll go in there and lick the limestone.
Yeah.
All right.
But I'm super impressed with this.
This is I am too. This is
That's-
I would pay $100 for this.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
right? Isn't that really good?
And $100 is like my threshold. That's like the one where over 100, it's got to be
It
good.
makes me happy you guys like it because I thought I was crazy. I'm
It's
like,
just very unique.
it's a
man.
Maker's
It
Mark
really
I really
is.
like. I'm like, this is so
no,
good.
it's really good.
Yeah, if any of you guys are listening, if you like those wheated bourbons, man. I mean, it's not a wheated bourbon; it's a wheat whiskey. But if you,
You know
just,
who else does?
I'm telling you, just
little
try
callback.
it. It's really great.
I know where you're
Old
going
Elk.
with that.
Old Elk does a good wheated
Oh,
whiskey.
so does Middle West.
Middle
They
West
do
does a
wheat
good
whiskey.
And guess what? Joined teams.
They touch tips.
They just touch tips. So I mean, speaking of wheated whiskeys, I like the Old Elk and I like the Middle West, and now I like this.
Yeah.
That's 3 wheated whiskeys I've enjoyed.
I feel like this is what it would taste like if the Old Elk and the Middle West one combined.
Were to make
Had a
love.
baby.
Another Voltron.
Were to make love, and then
So
lay
many Voltrons.
and then lay in the back of the VW bus and smoke afterwards. That's
yeah.
what this would taste.
High
like.
proof,
Trifecta, man.
high flavor. It's bready, but it's sweet. It's got
What?
It's got some fruit
Re-
flavor to
make
it.
love and smoking in the back of a Volkswagen bus.
that's the trifecta,
That's the trifecta.
yeah.
Wow.
No, this I really so like you go back to like the
thought-
breadiness. There, it's like we said earlier. If you put like some kind of like jam on like a bread, I keep getting all of those notes.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this is like a complete meal of like a sandwich.
Yeah.
like wash down with a root beer. It's This is incredible.
Super interesting.
Yeah, if you toasted that bread too, got some,
I
it's so
don't want to. I'm really. This is better than the Old Fitz.
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
I hate saying it, but I really like this better than the Old Fitz.
You think? But so price wise, I think that's about $40 better than the Old Fitz.
I'd say so. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
So I think the prices
listen,
are in line.
I'd be fine finding either one of these on the shelf.
Yeah.
But if I found both of these on the shelf, I would pay the extra $40 for this.
That's Star Hill.
Same.
That Star Hill is.
Are any of these lingering around?
I don't know if these have hit Ohio yet.
He didn't even get this in Ohio. So
Yeah, I got that in the good old KY.
the KY jelly.
Jelly.
It's warm.
Got your KY jelly.
I don't know that song.
I just made it.
I'm kidding.
I just made it up.
I'm totally kidding.
You never heard that song?
Come on.
It plays in my ears every time
There's
Jason's
a
over
video
here.
of this chick who makes a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with KY jelly. And
Ew.
it's disgusting.
Why?
I don't know. I think,
For likes and views.
yeah.
I mean,
Has
that's
to
almost
be.
as good as a peanut butter and toe jam sandwich, but
By the way, I thought the trifecta was beef, pork, and veal for the meatballs, by the way.
Ooh, that sounds
that's
delicious.
a different trifecta.
Different trifecta.
There's multiple
Yeah.
trifectas out
Very
there.
different.
Many trifectas out there.
All right,
There's
let's
lots of
go.
trifectas.
Huh?
Oh, fuck yeah. Let's turn it up to 11.
Now I'm going to get into some...
Or 10, actually.
Why don't you
Bourbon.
just get a more powerful amp?
But this one goes to 11.
So I came across a Michters 10-year before I got this bottle.
You
This
son of a
bottle
bitch.
was sent to me from Michters, but I
Nice.
bought one before and I gave it to my mother.
Oh, that was nice of you.
Your mother, does she appreciate... We need to get her on here. We talked about
No,
it.
I know. She wants to come on. I told, yeah. She's.
I want to
We've
know,
had that conversation.
can she discern...
We can't do Mondays with her because now she joined a pickleball league. Yeah,
So after
That
she
is
blows out
great.
her Achilles, let's have her,
Yeah,
let's wheel her
exactly.
in here.
that's what I said.
Wheel her in.
And don't get
here.
excited, JD, 'cause she would not be a vegetable.
Ew.
She would just be in a wheelchair. So don't go eating her wheelchair.
You got that? Okay.
This guy eats.
Get kind of a
wheelchairs.
flaccid hand there. when was
I've
handing
never
it to
heard
you.
of someone eating a wheelchair until JD talked about it.
So yes, the Michters 10-year single barrel bourbon. Obviously, these aren't 10 years.
Oh, my God.
These
Is that
are
reasonable?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. That's right.
Okay. I didn't do a giggle pour.
Yeah, you're good.
You'd be proud of me.
You should on this
Everything
one.
is so.
I probably should have, but I'm not going
Everything
to.
is so fruity to me tonight. The smell, like
No,
this has
this
got a
is-
fruity smell too.
Uh-huh.
Everything.
Holy
So this is 90, as usual, 94.4 proof.
What do you? So when you say as usual, is that their
They're
traditional?
Their
proof of
10-year
their
single
10 years?
barrels are always bottled at 94.4.
These are single barrels.
yeah,
Really?
yeah, single barrels.
So I got something
So
surprising.
you could have how many of these? How many barrels do they release at a time?
So if you look on the front, on the neck label, there's usually a 25, which gives you the year.
Yeah.
Then there's a letter that comes right after that. It's usually A, B, C.
Like they
and-
do with their
You know, I
Rise and stuff.
think it usually goes all the way to like G or H or something like that.
Yeah.
So they release a good amount of single barrels for this.
But okay.
But these are not 10 years old. These are generally anywhere between 13 and 15 years old.
But they just call them the 10-year because they've already passed the TTB or whatever.
Yeah, they don't want to change that label. So
So fun fact, a fritter fun fact.
FFF.
This is JD's
That's another trifecta.
very first
Fritter
taste
fun
of
fact.
this whiskey ever.
you've never had
never
Michters
had
10
a
years?
Michters
Nice.
10-year.
Nope.
I feel like, was it last year you brought a 10-year that you really that was
It was the 23. That was the
the 23 was
Did
the
we-
year
that was the home run
really,
hitter
really
year.
good.
I think we had that outside, if I remember, on the patio, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Well, we
yeah.
had a 10-year out there, but I thought we had a 10-year at your house.
That was the 23.
That was like you were like, I don't always like these, but this one's outstanding.
That was the 23.
But you're right. We did a Michters episode out on the patio, and he brought bomb burgers and shanks and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It was
But
a
that-
Michters night.
But that 10-year wasn't the greatest, I don't think.
No.
The one that we did at your house was the really good one.
That was a good one. So, yeah, these are pretty much, these are just like the standard Michters stuff. They're going in the barrel at 103 proof for this. So really low entry proof, but
That's one of the things I love about Michters. So we talked with
same.
Bruce Russell the other day, and he was talking about. So it was funny. He led with, I don't really think that entry proof makes a big difference, and then he kept talking and talking and talking, and he's like, except for
Michters.
no. He said except for when they have to water it down a great deal. So he was speaking primarily to barrel strength whiskeys.
Got it.
Which I'm like, well, of course, because you're not adjusting anything after the fact with water.
Yeah.
But when you get to those shelfers, like a Buffalo Trace, 90, what is that, 93 proof or 94?
93 is Blanton's.
Blanton's.
90 is regular Buffalo Trace.
Okay, so but you put it in the barrel at 125, it might go up and down, and but you're adding a ton of water after the fact, and that just adjusts the product and the profile. And so he was like, I don't think it really makes a difference. And he talked, and he's like, except with shelfers and things that are lower proof. And we're like, well, yeah, you're right, 100%. If it's just coming out of the barrel and going straight into a bottle, then yes, you're 100% right. Doesn't matter what the interproof is. But when you're having to, proof it down, and especially tremendously because you're starting at 125 or whatever comes out of the barrel at that point, higher or lower, to get it down to 90, you're affecting the viscosity, you're affecting the mouth experience, you're affecting everything.
It always makes me wonder if Michters does add any water to this.
Oh, I don't know.
It doesn't say it doesn't say barrel proof, so I'm guessing they do.
Have to get it to that proof.
I'm guessing they do a little bit,
but still a little versus a lot.
Exactly.
A low entry proof where a little bit of water is added is not anything compared to like a one.
I mean, they're going in one of the lowest. I've only heard one lower than this one.
Who?
It was a craft distillery that went in at like 101.
Oh,
okay. That's what I like about
this is 103.
Pursuit United's double oaked.
Yeah.
They proof it to that 108 and then put it in the second barrel and then don't touch it.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that probably helps its mouthfeel because the Pursuit stuff that I taste generally tastes pretty well.
Mouth what?
Has a good mouth experience. That's what I said. I don't know what you heard.
I don't know. Tyler must have been here for a minute. Wait, did he come back? No.
I don't think he's coming back. I think he's gone.
Coming back,
I think he pooped his pants. We're gonna have to.
He
ask
hasn't texted you guys like why he left.
He just gave us an Irish goodbye.
Well,
So he probably pooped his pants.
He's probably in Delaware.
Hey, I'm in Delaware.
He's probably at Dollar General looking for toilet paper.
What movie is that from?
What'd you say?
Look, we're in Delaware.
I don't know.
Wayne's World. When they're doing the green screen,
right.
and they're like, oh, and they do all these things, and then like Delaware comes in, and they're like, hey,
Speaking of Wayne's World,
we're in Delaware.
Speaking of Wayne's World, Kim and I watched Austin Powers 2, The Spy Who Shagged Me last night.
Yes.
Yes.
God, there's so many good lines in that movie.
And there's so many one-liners.
Yeah, it just
but then
doesn't
there's just so
stop.
many good scenes. Like is that the one with the tent? Is that the?
That's the one with Mini Me.
Was
and,
that
They introduced Fat
Heather
Bastard
Graham.
and
So
Mini
they're
Me.
they're in the
Fat
tent,
Bastard.
right? And they're
Yeah.
pulling out all the stuff out of her ass. It looks like,
stuff, yeah.
and it's like an umbrella.
All the
these
villains are watching like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And she's like bent over on her
Yeah.
hands and knees, and he's just pulling all this stuff out of some bag, and it looks like he's pulling it out of her ass. That's a great scene.
Those are hilarious.
Oh,
Almost
yeah.
all of those. Are
Every one of
hilarious.
those are differently.
I wasn't
good.
as crazy with Goldmember, but that second one with
but Goldmember's got some good.
it's got some good lines.
does.
Goldmember.
Yeah.
I love gold. I love gold.
Like Will Ferrell's in. I totally forgot he was in
Yeah.
Spy Who Shagged Me.
Spy Who Shagged Me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I spit at the question. He's like, where is Dr. Evil? I will not tell you ever. Where is Dr. Evil? He's hiding in a volcano. He's like, well, that was easy. He goes, I just can't stand answering the same question three times.
Yeah, 3 times. Yeah. And didn't he do something immediately afterwards?
like
he's like, okay, and he asked him real quick twice.
He fell
He's like
off-
annoyed.
Then he falls off the cliff and he's like, I have hurt myself very badly. Can somebody throw me down a bed? I believe the bone is coming out of the skin. It's gangrenous. I'm smelling almonds.
Gangrenous. Already.
Yeah, already.
It just immediately.
I'm
turned
starting to
gangrenous.
smell almonds. Somebody help me.
God, I miss those movies. So when I was a bartender in England, there was a break room that we used to all hang out in. And we were from a whole bunch of different countries, like New Zealand, Australia, Poland, a whole bunch of different places. And one of the things that brought us all together was the original Austin Powers. And we would go down there, and we had that on VHS. And we would just
There's a blast from the past.
we would sit there and watch Austin Powers.
Yeah.
And we were just sitting there, and we'd all quote it. And even the people that didn't speak very good English were quoting, like learning their English from Austin Powers. Hilarious.
And the fat bastard scenes are just hilarious.
But this was just the original, like,
but
Austin
even the
Powers.
original, yeah,
yeah,
for
yeah. With Elizabeth Hurley, I think.
Yep. The OG.
Oh, this is
OG.
me in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Did the tape say, be kind, please rewind?
It did not because
No.
it was not a rental.
Not from Blockbuster?
It was not a
Right.
rental. So
God, it smells so good.
yeah, let's.
I haven't noticed anything like this since my third sophomore year.
Jesus.
Oh.
Bethany. My God, that's when you hid yourself in the women's dressing room, right?
Yep.
I don't know. This doesn't smell anything like that. Just for anyone listening at home,
Like anyone from Michters listening, he didn't mean that.
it does not smell like that. There was an air freshener by his nose. Why it was?
This smells like a cherry tobacco cigar.
Oh, cherry and tobacco.
Yeah.
I'd
nice.
smoke that.
You'd smoke that? Well, you're going to drink it in a second.
I've been drinking it. Sorry. That's good.
You tried it?
Yeah, I couldn't help myself.
This is the bee's knees. Every time a Glen can.
Every time a Glen Clarence,
A Glen can
clings.
clings. An angel gets his wings.
Oh, mother, this is good.
Ooh,
This is a good one.
it's a very good one.
This is a good one. You done good, Jason.
I didn't make it, but I want
Yeah,
to
but
bring
you
it.
got it.
Damn
and
it,
you brought
done
it.
good.
You got it, and you brought it.
Anybody getting like a cherry apple?
Yes.
There's like an amaretto.
Cherry I was getting immediately,
it's
but
the
then
candy apple coated
yes,
with the red cherry
red
stuff.
cherries. Yes. Mm-hmm.
He said amaretto. That's a
was like-
good note
it was
for
like
me.
amaretto.
Amaretto's
Wow.
a good note because it wasn't like full cherry for
Yeah.
me, but I couldn't like pinpoint what it was.
Amaretto's a good call.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is
JD
nice.
just dropping bombs over here.
Now,
Amaretto
JD,
and-
tell us what
amaretto
it
and
reminds
OJ.
you of from your childhood.
Not since Hiroshima.
Jesus. Why do I have to edit every episode you're in?
Jesus Lord.
Oh my God. Seriously. Like,
Just edit out that word
I'm
and nothing
probably
else.
just going to leave this in there because I've got to put this immediately onto freaking and then publish it because
This
I'll be
guy
in
could
Chicago.
probably be in the middle of some terrible disaster, and 2 weeks later, he'd be coming back joking about it.
I mean, we don't have that many Japanese
You would,
listeners.
you're
let's be honest.
you're expecting 2 weeks
We
later.
don't.
Now he's.
I'm just saying we
now
don't
he's
have-
making. Now
hey-
he's making assumptions about the viewership.
I'm assuming
You
we
wanna
don't
bet?
have a lot of
You wanna
Japanese
bet?
listeners.
You want to bet?
What?
He's going to look up how many Japanese listeners we have, and you're
I'm
going
about
to
to.
have to go back to Japan and apologize.
And apologize. You're going to do it. You're going to do a Blanton's apology tour. A Blanton's apology tour.
Fucking Harikari myself in Japan.
That's
Just
right.
like-
You better
Hari?
pull up. You better
Are you gonna
pull up the
Hari
airplane
card?
tickets right now.
yeah.
You're going to Harikari yourself?
Isn't that what it's called?
Harry Carey. But
Harikari? I thought it was Harikari.
If I was a hot
I mean,
dog.
that's probably how they pronounce it.
Oh, what am I going to say?
If I was a hot dog,
Speaking of Will Ferrell,
would you eat me?
So, Japan is 0.23% of our listenership.
0.23%.
Well, considering we're an American podcast, the fact that that's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sixth highest listenership that we have.
Make that
So
a
to the
zero.
5 people in Japan, I'm sorry.
You
I'm
beat me
sorry.
by 5 seconds.
I upset the 5 people that listen to us in Japan.
Did you say he beat you in 5 seconds?
No, he beat me 2 in 5 seconds because he's like, make that 0.23 zero now after they hear that comment.
But you know what's above Japan? So here's our listenership above Japan.
Australia?
No, Australia is the next one down, actually.
Wow. Okay.
Above Japan, we're big. We're big in Singapore. And then the United
Fuck
Kingdom,
yeah.
the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, then of course Canada, and then the United States.
It reminds me of that scene in Home Alone. Oh, here in America? No, Sheboygan. Very big in Sheboygan.
with the what was it?
Oh,
the,
here in Chicago?
kickers, the
Yeah.
kickers, what are
The
the
Kenosha Kickers.
Kenosha Kickers.
We had,
Yeah.
we had a few hits in this episode. Oh, here in Chicago? No,
probably heard of
Sheboygan.
this. Sheboygan.
Very big in Sheboygan.
Was John Candy, R.I.P.
You know, he ad-libbed that entire scene.
I have no
Yes,
doubt.
I heard that.
No doubt.
I heard that too. He was a national treasure.
He was,
for
a,
Canada.
he was a gem.
He was a Canadian national treasure.
We
Yeah.
miss him.
Was Winston Chestertonville on that list?
Wow.
What? Jesus. Talk about obscure.
Yeah. That's very, very sneaky.
Very, very sneaky.
Can let me change your
I was like,
socks?
going to change your socks up?
Let me change Let me change your socks.
That's my mother.
That's and this is weird because he is such a great actor.
Yes, yes.
But that is probably my favorite role. Of his. Was in Mr. Deeds.
Mr. Deeds,
was when
yeah.
he played that role in Mr. Deeds.
What
That's,
about Zohan?
I'm
He's not talking about Adam
Adam
Sandler,
Sandler.
yeah.
Oh, he's talking about
Sorry.
Not John Leguizamo, but the other guy.
No, not
what the hell's
Leguizamo
his name?
either.
going to drive it.
Yes.
Turturro.
John Turturro.
John Turturro, yeah.
I think he's fantastic.
Right, but I think my favorite role of his ever is in Mr. Deeds because that role is just so silly and ridiculous.
He's been in so many
He's been in
movies.
a ton of things. He was in the Transformers movies. In
Yeah.
the 7, whatever it was.
S7.
S7. Like, he was great in that, too. Everything he's in, he either overplays it in a good way,
Yeah.
or he just, like, subtly plays it in a good way. Like, he's just a good actor. You're talking
Was that
about
Timmy?
Adam Sandler.
Yeah, that's Adam Sandler.
No,
We're talking about fucking John Turturro.
No, we switched spaces now.
We haven't
camps?
switched at all.
Oh, I was
you
always-
keep going to Adam Sandler. We've been talking about John Turturro the
I
whole
think
time.
Tyler left, but he's somehow here.
Yes. Tyler has taken control of
He's
body.
manifested.
I was
to
talking
JD.
about Turturro the first place. And
No, you were not.
yeah.
No, you
He's
never
in
were.
Zohan.
No,
That's Adam Sandler.
He's also in it. He plays the villain.
Oh, he's the villain in
He's
Zohan?
the guy that owns
We both, when you said Zohan, we
restaurant.
both responded and said, "We're not talking about Adam Sandler. We're
But-
talking about John
but
Turturro." And
Turturro-
you said, "Oh,
Well, yeah, because I thought you were talking about Adam Sandler at that point.
no." We just specifically said we're not talking about
my
Adam
God.
Sandler.
You've lost your way.
Oh
Yeah.
my God!
You're not coming back from this. You're not coming back from this.
Let me change your socks.
I'm gonna wait
He
for
has
our
socks on. He's the only one
I'm
here.
gonna
I'm not changing
Hey.
his socks.
Japanese fan base. Please chime in. Tell me I'm right.
What does that have to do with anything?
Because he's the one who made the Hiroshima joke.
I know, but like, what does that actor in
I don't know.
in
He's trying to-
Japan have to do?
He's deflecting to our 0.23% listeners. I don't know why. All right.
What's
What's next? This is outstanding, by the way. What would you?
You like this one?
What is this retail? If you ever saw it,
It's about
retail?
$2.25 now.
Oh wow!
It's a lot.
So, how would you feel about this versus the Star Hill weeded whiskey
I would probably go Star Hill.
They're so
for
different.
the
it's hard
price?
to
Right?
Yeah.
For the price.
They're very different. For
But
the price, I think the
here's
Star Hill
my
gives you more
issue.
bang for your buck.
I agree.
But I think it's good to
Have a
Get-
Michters tin on your shelf.
get one of these.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah,
Right.
Splurge.
That's where I was about to say.
I don't think it's an every year purchase.
That's what I was about to say.
They got broad shoulders on the bottle.
But I love the Michters bottle, but I don't have a Michters tin. And I would love to have a Michters tin. Knowing that I would probably more likely get a Star Hill Farms. If I saw these two sitting on the shelf beside each other, I'd probably grab the Michters tin because I know I'm never going to get it. Most likely.
I would rather the rye in the Michters pen. and get-
Oh yeah.
We both went there. That was awesome.
I play that on my on my live show.
You do?
I
Whenever
play
you
like
talk
a,
about
I
something
play like a
that's
small
never
clip.
available.
Anytime I announce a new Buffalo Trace bottle, I play Never Gonna Get It.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I don't think I've ever heard you play that. That's funny, though.
All right, you guys ready to go Calumet 18, the
Fuck.
Big Bopper?
I've never had that before.
The Big Bopper.
Neither have I.
Yeah.
Full transparency, guys. We recorded this episode 2 weeks ago.
Oh, you're
And
giving them a peek behind the curtain.
And my memory card ran out of, and we only got 5 minutes in. So that's why at the
Man.
beginning, that's why Tyler's actually not here right now. It's not
Are
because
you
he
pouring
pooped-
mine? Who's
well,
pouring mine? Someone
he-
pour mine.
Tyler probably did poop his pants.
I mean, he
He
probably did as we were saying it. Take it easy on these pours.
Yeah, I was like, just
I don't
that's
have-
why I was like, you pour mine. That's a small one. That's good.
Don't let JD pour anything.
He's doing good.
I would have
You
split
handed
it with
JD
him.
the bottle?
I'm trusting him with this one. You
He
know why? Because
sneezes and drops it on the floor.
it's got a big lip on it.
It's like an Elijah Craig.
All right.
You can't mess it up.
Well, I think if anyone did, it would be you.
You're good. That's fine.
Did you buy this?
Yes, I bought that.
You bought this.
I bought that for
Then I will-
$500.
I will be aware of the
They did
pour,
not. They did not send me that. Good job.
Right?
That's it.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
Same as last time.
2 weeks ago. Last time. Look at you guys getting the double dip.
I
That was his plan the whole time. Oh my God! My
stopped.
microchip is
Hey,
busted.
It stopped recording again. We're gonna have to do this again.
I was like, every time you bring a fucking
Every time we bring a banger.
yeah.
Jason, when are you bringing that Russell's 15 over?
I got corrupted.
Oh, it looks like my corrupt disc.
I'm going to
isn't
save that
working.
for the next William LaRue Weller. I won't.
Yeah.
I won't overplay my hand on this.
Looks like the motherboard, but this is fried.
It's fried. I don't
Get
know
it?
what happened.
I just
It's
got
just
a new
smoking.
one. Bring
It's
over
smoking.
everything again.
It's like 1.21 gigawatts.
All right, so this is Calumet 18, part of the 100-year Centennial Collection, which is a big release that Calumet did this year. I think they released 5 or 6 different releases for this one.
Looking at it right now, my favorite thing about this, the bottle's great, but the box, the presentation that I'm seeing right now, with the box and everything, is amazing.
I know it opens up and it's all it's that beautiful red inside. Is that velvet?
Is that velvet? And then doesn't it have like a little?
It's got the little pull tab on top.
There it is.
That pulls out the little card.
A little information on the card.
But it also, but you open the booklet, it gives you a spot for like tasting notes.
Yeah, which I don't like that. I like it after I've tasted. I don't like it before I've tasted.
No, it doesn't have tasting notes in there.
It has for fill out your tasting notes.
Exactly.
Oh, I didn't see that. I can't see that far.
So it has in this beautiful trophy decanter bottle. The bottle's gorgeous.
The decanter bottle is beautiful.
Metal wrap, not a paper wrap.
So you really couldn't reuse this again afterwards?
You can.
I mean,
why not?
It would still, but it would say you're not getting that wrapper off, is what I'm saying.
No, you're not getting that. You're not getting this.
So it would say Calumet 18.
I mean,
no matter what you have in there.
Oh, I mean, there's a spot you probably could peel it off, but
okay.
Goo gone.
Goo gone saves everything, man.
So this is $500 retail for the box, the beautiful trophy decanter.
I'll tell you what,
and it's 18-year Barton.
It's 18-year, and the nose doesn't smell like a ton of oak.
It's not over oaked,
which is impressive. What's the proof on this?
118.
118. Yep. Is the 18 because of the 18-year?
Yeah, it's kind of like a trend that they did, like even their 14, 15, and 16 years.
114, 115, 116?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there 17 that they just released? Is that
117?
Okay. All right. I was just making sure they were consistent.
Yeah, they also did a decanter. They released a rye. They have the 17-year decanter.
Is the decanter proof?
It might be.
It might be.
So quick story about Calumet. The 17-year that I reviewed on my show, literally, I pulled the cork out and the cork ripped and broke.
No.
As I was recording.
Really?
On the 17-year. I sent them the clip, and they not only sent me a replacement cork. No, they sent me a replacement cork, but they sent me a bottle of rye. They sent me these two like Calumet 100 Centennial tasting glasses, like cocktail glasses.
That's nice.
They sent me a book for like tasting notes, like a notebook.
Yeah.
They made up for it. I'll tell you that.
Speaking of glassware, go to bourbonhunters.com and you can buy glassware from Sip and Savor, the same place that you can buy your glassware.
Yeah.
I reached out to them after I sent you there.
Nice.
And they were like, oh, yeah, we talked to Jason, we got all that. And we have 3 to choose from. We have the Squatty Potty, which is our normal.
Our favorite.
We also have a Glencairn, which we've never done a Glencairn. I forgot that we'd never done a Glencairn. No,
we did
the
Kinsey
Grams.
Yeah.
I just ordered 2 of the Glencairns.
I ordered 2 Glencairns, 2 rocks glasses, and 2 Squatty Potties just to...
Guys, get your helmets on and step up. That was a hell of a segue right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? Fucking
because
plugging
you said
shit
glassware.
left and right.
I was like, you know what? Let's talk about glassware.
What was that website
Too bad it's
again?
40 minutes into the website. Or into
Sip
the
and Savor.
Sip and Savor.
Savor.com.
If you just go to our website, bourbonhunters.com, there's a link to that. If you go to our Instagram, there's a link in our link tree there.
Go to bourbonhunters.com. Get your Bourbon Hunters glassware. And
you sound like an 80s shock jock. That's
then,
great. That was good.
Also, on the website, you can see 101 Tasteless Jokes by Tato Fritter.
Jesus. That was great.
I've always wanted Casey Kasem to say that.
That was not Casey Kasem.
That was more like the Cincinnati obscure midnight to 6 a.m. disc jockey.
Very Cincinnati feeling to me.
But it was the Cincinnati midnight to 6 a.m. DJ. No,
get out Tato Fritter. Click on the Tato Fritter tab for your tasteless joke of the day. Give me your best Casey Kasem. I got to hear it.
I don't know if I
that was good.
It'll just sound like that.
Don't ruin it. That was good. That was perfect. All right, let's know.
Casey Kasem.
Yeah.
That was good. That wasn't bad.
Dude, one of my favorite things on the weekends on Sundays, they replay the Casey Kasem top.
The old ones?
The old top, like.
That's cool.
Like the top 40, like that he did on the radio every morning, on Sundays. So like Kim and I around, I put on Casey Kasem and give it.
That's cool though.
It's a throwback.
You ever listen to Dick Burton?
Jesus, Dick Trickle, but not Dick Burton.
I guess he was a Michigan guy.
Dick Trickle was an old NASCAR guy.
Yeah, he was a NASCAR racer.
Yeah, Dick Trickle.
They always talked about him on ESPN, even though he never wanted to. They would always bring up.
Of
course they
Dick
did.
Trickle.
Yeah. I always found it funny in the movie. The Tom Cruise one.
Oh, Days of Thunder.
Yeah, I'm like really Cole Trickle.
Cole
like
Trickle.
I had all the names to pick. You
pick
picked Cole Trickle.
Yeah.
All right. So this
That wasn't a bad movie, but go
No,
ahead.
it was all right.
It was Top Gun in a race car.
Yeah,
it's just the
100%.
same thing.
I need to watch it, and I'm redoing my basement.
Like, here
I'm
it is,
doing,
Tom.
I think they use the same.
this time you're in
Yeah.
a race car.
Yeah,
Yeah, the same music too.
All right. Imagine them like pitching that. Okay, Tom, you just did Top Gun, right?
Yeah.
Wipe that out of your mind.
Yeah.
Imagine Top Gun
with wheels.
in a race car.
Yeah.
This time with Nicole Kidman.
Ooh.
And you still sing "You've Lost That Love and Feeling,"
But he didn't.
but he didn't.
But he didn't.
Yeah, they cut that
They
scene.
cut that
Ooh.
scene out.
This is really good.
Yeah,
So this
is
reminds
good.
me of
Wow.
I get cherry almond cookie, like my grandmother's biscotti cookies.
Biscotti. Nice.
I can get behind that.
Almond. There's
Right?
definitely
Yeah, you
almond in
should.
Cherry
there.
fucking
almond
pervert.
all day long.
So I want to taste that. I'm going to keep that in my head.
What? Cherry almond
All right,
biscotti?
but let's talk about this realistically. This is good,
A little
right?
marzipan?
This is really good, right?
It's very good.
Is it $500 good?
Nope.
That was
There's-
a quick response.
I don't think it is. I feel like because I have not
You've
that I've had this
experienced enough-
before. I've experienced enough whiskeys where
Yeah.
I've had stuff that's like this.
That's much cheaper.
I'm even if it's not cheaper, even if it was the same price, like this has come out before.
Is it $400 good?
Yeah. What's the threshold? What would allow you to buy this?
He did buy it.
But he bought it taste unseen.
So I'll say this: the 17 year, which I also bought for $400. That was an expensive day at the liquor store.
Jesus,
bet.
you bought them the same day?
Yeah.
Holy.
I went to a different store because OHLQ. So I got the 17 year, and then I tried that, and then I was like, man, this isn't that much of a step up from the 16. The 16 is still on the shelf for like 150, 160.
Yeah.
Even cheaper in some other areas. The 17 was a very, very mild step up, and depending who you talk to could have been a step down for more than double the price.
Yeah.
So now you're getting into the 18. It's like, is the 18 year that much better? Because the 18 year is now 500 instead of 400. The thing with the 18 year, I think it's definitely better than the 17 year, but it
lot of
also
it's
comes.
presentation,
But
too.
also, yeah, and people don't really factor that in a lot. They're just like, I'm not paying a 500 for that, but you have to factor in the cost of making that bottle because
Yeah,
that's a
bottle is
one of
beautiful.
one.
It's a beautiful bottle.
It's a beautiful bottle. The box is
box is
gorgeous.
nice, yeah.
So all that stuff kind of intertwined into it. Now, if I'm going to pay $400 for the 17, I say skip the friggin' 17. You might as well just go up and get the 18
Yeah.
because the 18 is really good.
No.
But is it still 500 good?
I would agree with you on everything you just
I
said.
wish this was 400 and the 17 year was
It was
maybe
like 300.
250
Yeah. Okay.
ish. I would, but
Well, so,
I get it.
So if you go by the standard of $10 a year, and let's just say even $11 or $12 a year because of inflation, whatever, you're talking 18 years, 180, 220, whatever, something like that, $200 in that range. Is the packaging worth another $300?
I mean, I guess for some people.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As a one-off, maybe I'm not buying more than one bottle of this. There's no way in hell. Mm-hmm. That's my question, because I feel like when you're at, like, how much does Elijah Craig 18 cost?
That was
180,
180.
170.
Right. It's
You're at that
$10
$10
a year.
thing, yeah.
So let's just say that this is,
But this is better than Elijah Craig 18.
it is 100%, but it's not $320 better than Elijah Craig 18.
But again, and here's the thing, it's kind of drives me nuts a little bit because everybody likes to compare pricing
You're right.
to the big producers. You can't.
Yeah,
you can.
they're a
but
smaller
it's-
producer.
Yeah, it's very hard to compare somebody that's sourcing, that's not making that doesn't have an Evan Williams on the shelf that sells 400 million cases a year
Right.
for volume.
That basically is,
Yeah.
payrolling everything
Yeah,
else they do.
and that kit or Jack Daniels, the old number 7, that's basically the gem. That's the one on the shelf. And Brown Forman, because of that, can pretty much put out whatever else they want at good
right.
prices.
No, you're
Not
right.
like NDPs can't do that. So when you're looking at pricing, NDP versus a big producer like that, yes, I understand the money is money, dollar for dollar. I get it.
NDP.
NDP. Yeah, and
non-distilling,
non-distilling producer versus a huge heritage
for
producer.
anyone listening who doesn't know,
it's just very hard to kind of. It's not apples to apples.
And here's the thing: this is really good.
It's very good.
It's really good. Like this is, I would never think this isn't good.
So, do you guys remember the? Because everyone's always asking me, do you like the Calumet 18 better? And you guys had it, the Bomberger's PFG.
Oh, that Bomberger's was fucking
Bomberger's was
it was. It was pretty fucking good.
What was that? 250?
Bomberger's?
No, it's 100.
It's 160.
That one was
150?
that was a little elevated. From
I thought
other
they
Bombergers.
moved it up a little bit. Is
Yeah,
it 200?
I think it's 150,
Yeah.
160. Yeah.
Okay.
Usually Bomberger's is like 120, 130.
Okay. No, that was really good.
I'd probably pick the Bombergers.
Well,
I
because
could-
of the price
so-
difference, I'd buy 2 of those for this.
I could see
you
the
know?
Calumet 18. People would probably like it more because the PFG it's very oak forward.
It
has a lot of
was,
that
it
French
was.
oak. It's a little bit lower proof,
There was a little spice to it.
but there's a
because the-
uniqueness to that
Yeah.
I think I like more than this.
Yeah.
But that's not to say this is a fantastic.
No, this is good.
bourbon.
It's good. There was some spice I feel like to the Bombergers that I just. It's probably from that French oak, I imagine.
Yeah.
That I really, like you said, unique. It was unique. This is
starting to get into like a little bit of a medicinal Luden's cough drop cherry.
I can taste that there.
there's definitely some cherry, and there's a little bit of oak, but it's not too tannic. A little bit of there's a hint of tannins, but not too tannic.
Yeah.
Especially for 18 years. You would expect
No, this is good.
So
right
in the
now
co-
we're picking apart.
So in the context
because
of
the $500.
so in the context of tonight, this or the Star Hill Farms, or even
Star
the
Hill Farms.
or even the Michters 10.
I could get 5 of those for that.
Price
Yeah.
aside, I'm just talking what's in the bottle.
Well, that's tough though because that's actually part of the equation.
I tell you what.
In the bottle,
I'm just saying
bottle.
if somebody gave these to you blind, you didn't know what was what,
Yeah.
and you were trying the Calumet 18 or Star Hill, what do you think you would pick
the
more?
Star Hill might be the winner.
It's so unique.
Not
Yeah.
blinding it.
It's so unique.
It's got
Damn
a
it.
really nice spice.
We
on
should have
it.
blinded these. We should have.
They're so different, but we
I
could
know,
have.
but
We could.
and been like, oh my god, this is $100. This is
You know what? Next episode we do. Let's do another blind tasting. But I will blind you guys with like current favorites
Yeah.
and see which
I
one
like
we like
that.
better.
That's cool.
Do like a best of 2025 so far, and let's see
Yeah.
what we pick.
That's fun.
Go to your house.
Yeah,
Do that at
come
your
on,
house.
come over,
Speaking
Come
of
on over.
current
and then
picks,
Tyler can go blow up my bathroom.
I am not looking forward to my toilet.
your toilet's not looking forward to your toilet.
My toilet's not looking forward to Tyler's
What
ass.
are you gonna say?
Speaking of current releases, I got to try one of my bucket list Dusties,
Which is
last
yeah.
Wednesday.
That's right.
was it a
Kenny Mills was kind enough to share a couple Dusties with me.
okay?
And my bucket list pour has been
Old
a
Heaven Hill?
Seagram's Eagle Rare 10 year, 101 proof.
Oh, I remember you've talked about
Yeah.
that, and I told you I had a bottle of that a while ago.
and you finished it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's done. I shared it and it was gone.
He asked me what my birth year was, and I said 84. He's like, I don't have 84, but here you go. And 1980.
Very nice.
Eagle Rare 10 year, 101 proof.
Wow.
And it was really good. But he said, I got one that's going to blow that away.
When
Here you
did
go.
Buffalo Trace take control of that? What year?
I don't know.
Gosh, I'm trying to
That's
remember, 'cause it
Seagram
was-
slash MGP slash whatever.
It was somebody before Seagram's, too, wasn't it?
I
moved
think it's a
around.
long-standing brand.
Yeah.
But it wasn't Buffalo Trace until, like, I recently in the terms of bourbon and whiskey.
I think it was the early '90s. I think.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Do you know what blew it away? Same year, 1980, Old Granddad 114.
Oh, absolutely.
Holy crap, that
Absolutely.
was fucking
Wow.
tits.
You talk about a butterscotch bomb.
Oh, my
those
God.
those old granddads is what got me like down the rabbit hole of looking for Dusties because I
Really?
wanted to hold on.
I've heard
to that
the
profile.
old granddads of
Yeah.
old are
You know, when
were
you guys
just
come
ridiculous.
over, I have an old granddad from 1986 upstairs on my.
You do?
Yeah, we'll just start the night off with that.
So he asked me what the best Dusty I've ever had was, and I had to tell him when you shared your cheesy gold foil, 89.
Oh, the cheesy gold foils are fucking
Always comes back.
so good.
I love the cheesy gold foils.
He also shared an 09 George T. Stagg, 141 proof.
Damn.
Oh yeah, my buddy Scott has that bottle. It was like the last hazmat one.
Yeah.
I think it's so.
That
freaking
was
good.
so good, yeah. He shared a lot of good stuff. After
Sounds
we
like it,
recorded.
man.
Yeah. Yeah, you can check me out on Mashup coming up soon.
Oh no, it was actually introduced in 1975.
We have anything else that you want to do, or are we done?
You guys want to do a quick pour of the 20-year Dickel? See what 20-year Dickel tastes like.
It's either that, or you do a quick pour of that Scotch. I have the Speyside Scotch from Tamleuven or whatever it's called.
I could do that after.
Okay.
Let's do the Dickel.
What's the other bottle you have besides the Dickel?
That's the
that was the tequila.
Tequila
bottle.
finish. I think we should wait on that. Let's do some Dickel.
Dickel Trickle?
The Dickel Trickle.
The Dickel Trickle.
That'd be a
Not
good
Cole
tater
Trickle.
sticker.
Not Cole Trickle, not Dick Trickle, but the Dickel Trickle.
So a lot of these 20-year barrels have been popping up. Again, a lot of NDPs have been scooping these up. Sealbox, Natural Barrel Company, a lot of these different companies.
is there two back there?
NDPs. Yeah, can I have a fresh one? Because I've been utilizing this.
Give him a fresh one.
I'll give you a fresh one.
Give him one of those. I'm good. I rinsed.
sure?
Yep.
There you go. Pass that around. So this is 20-year George Dickel at cast strength. Remind me what the strength is on the proof on that.
Proof? The proof's in the pour.
118.9.
Which is pretty high for a Dickel.
Dick.
What?
Ill.
I just said the proof's in the pour.
You guys are gonna get sued.
It all comes full circle. Here comes Dan and Sean.
Every fucking time. What? The fucking Flintstone vitamins.
Yo, you're getting it on this?
Every
Usually-
fucking time.
Oh,
Every
my
fucking
God. I
time.
so get it on
Every fucking time.
Usually, what's the proof on
No,
this?
I don't care. Every fucking time.
118.
Flintstone vitamins.
All right, don't gotta
Hold
get all
on,
mad
hold on.
about it.
Hey. Generally, the ultra
Getting
aged,
very emotional.
high proof Dickel doesn't have that. That's interesting.
This
that
is
you're getting
strong.
No, after you crunch up a
It's
Flintstone
strong.
fucking vitamin.
Oh my God.
This is terrible.
I just pulled an orange
Listen,
Flintstone
Yes,
vitamin
It's like
yes.
fucking Barney Rubble over here.
It is the orange one for sure.
I'm nosing it, and I haven't tasted it, but yeah, I don't know that I want to drink this.
That's why we're the best generation.
If you opened up the Flintstone vitamins and smelled
And
inside
smelled
it,
it, this is
and
what
didn't
it
eat,
smells
that's what it
like.
fucking smells like.
Oh my god,
So here's the thing. Like
this
somebody,
smells like. This smells to me like a Flintstone vitamin that got rolled around in the mud,
what?
and then you're like, oh, let me clean it off. That's what this smells like.
feel
to me.
like-
There's earthiness to it. That's what I'm trying to say. That I was not expecting.
If I went to my parents' house and looked in the medicine cabinet,
And then you accidentally found
and there was
porn.
Flintstone vitamins from fucking 1989, and I
what-
opened it up,
So you're saying stale?
see, I think it actually tastes.
Flintstone
It
vitamins.
actually tastes pretty delicious.
it might taste great. I'm just saying, I get that note.
How many? So real quick. How many times have you smelled a bourbon where like off, and then you taste it and you're like, oh, kind of like what's the meme where it's like, and then
yeah.
whatever it is, what's the meme? Is it
I know that-
Drake?
Yeah, I think
Is
it's
it Drake?
Drake.
Oh, there's a girl that does it too. that
I
I've
think
seen
it's
a bunch
Drake
of
though.
them.
No, I know that one you're talking
Yeah,
about.
like the
but there's
blonde
the
girl.
Drake one that's like, and then
I think it tastes better than it smells.
Delicious.
is it?
That was Chappelle. It tastes like it smells. I just finished it.
Delicious.
It does taste much better than it smells.
It kind of comes through for me.
No, it does.
No,
It comes
It
through.
does, but
it does. But I like the.
But it's on the
not-
finish. It's
Yeah,
almost on the
it's
linger.
on the very end
It's
of
the
finish.
linger.
That earthy note that he was talking about, which you do get in some, especially some of the lower proof George Dickel whiskeys. It doesn't really translate as much. This is a little. This gets more into that orange rind.
It's
I
evolving.
was about to say Orange Julius.
Yes.
Yeah,
Orange
yeah,
Julius.
Orange Julius.
I get that. Here's the thing. I get there's a finish of Flintstone vitamins. Honestly. But
There is.
but it's subtle compared to the nose. The actual flavor of this and the finish of this are actually much better than I expected.
Yeah, it's nice.
But then I get it's almost like the dragon's breath part of it, like where you're, breathing out.
Yeah.
And you get that. That's where I'm getting the
It's like the Flintstone vitamin that was crushed up in the little tablespoon.
Yeah,
of
some of the
juice,
powder of that is like
of orange
is
juice.
coming
Yeah.
out.
And,
Yeah.
like, you take that spoonful when you're
But
a kid.
this is
Take your vitamins, you little
It
shit.
also-
Take your
it also
vitamins.
knows-
Take your vitamins, Jesse, you little shit. Take it.
It also noses like Cheerios, though.
I don't.
If
get
you
that.
don't think
I
vitamins
don't
at
get
all,
that. No, I don't get that at all.
I don't get Cheerios.
I know what you're talking about, though. Wait. Are you talking about, like... So hear me out.
Kix cereal.
No. Well,
Kicks, dude.
that's
Wow.
Funny. That's funny.
Kix.
They all float and overflow.
No.
They
So-
do overflow.
Here's what I think you're saying. The dusty Cheerios at the bottom of an empty bag of Cheerios, that's what I'm getting. Not Cheerios, but like, you know how like...
Isn't that Cheerios?
Yeah,
I'm getting more of the Orange Julius right
But-
now.
Yeah.
But
getting
here's
more
what...
of that.
Here's
I
the
just mean on the
takes a
nose.
second.
It does.
On the
So
nose.
when you get to the bottom of a bag of Cheerios and then there's like a little bit of a dusting,
Like stale Cheerios.
but there's a little bit of a dusting, and then some Cheerios and you pour it into your bowl, into the bowl.
Not honey nut at all.
No.
regular
Cheerios.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense. I was thinking
Regular
onion.
Cheerios. No, regular
Regular.
Cheerios.
Really,
Cheerios.
okay. I'm
But
with you. I'm with
but
you
you
now.
get the
I'm back on board.
dustiness like that. It's almost like there's a waft or
We usually see eye to eye.
you know what I'm talking about? Like
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm trying to back you up here.
Cheerios.
Should I have said when I was a kid?
Cheerios and
You should have said when your grandmother was waking you up after sleeping in on a late Friday night,
and you
or
wouldn't get
Saturday
out of
morning.
bed, so she poured a bowl
She
of
poured a bowl of Cheerios.
Cheerios on your head, and then just poured orange juice on your face.
Yes.
We'd visit my grandma twice a year, but every time we go back, it's always the same box.
Yes.
Ew.
Oh, my grandma, bless her soul, she loves.
That's weird that you're talking about your grandmother's box, though.
Oh.
Oh, no, you went. No,
That's weird, man.
Grandmas are off limits.
Right. So why is he
Yeah.
talking about his grandmother's box? That's
You
weird.
are. Mr.
No, he was talking about his grandmother's
Go
box.
shit your
That's
pants.
So weird.
Of Cheerios.
Go shit your
She also had a nut roll, too, that she'd always have on the counter.
Stop it. All right, signing off, guys.
See, who was talking about
This is Pennsylvania stuff. I mean, you never
Is
had
it?
a nut roll?
Here's a public service
is that where all
announcement.
the, is that where all
This
the
is what
priests live?
happens when you drink Dickel.
Do all the
Right?
do all the priests live in Pennsylvania? Is that what's going on?
Ew,
Speaking of priests,
oh, no.
Oh no!
I was just gonna give a call back to my trip to the Vatican.
Yeah,
I was in the
Don't
Vatican.
you dare make a joke about the Popa.
I was in the Vatican the day they elected the new pope. I was in the Vatican.
Nice. Did you see the white smoke?
No. So I don't know if you know how it works. We talked about
I
this.
know how it works. I'm Italian.
Red smoke, right? Black smoke.
No,
I don't know if you know how
black
this
smoke.
works, Mr. American.
I wasn't speaking specifically to you as much as
I don't
the
even
audience.
that, Chitty.
Yes.
So, am I doing Forrest Whitaker eye yet?
A little bit. A little bit.
So anyway, we were there on.
I can fix it.
We arrived in Rome the day they started conclave.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how conclave works, the first day they only do one vote, and it's in the evening. Black smoke that day when we got there. We had scheduled a trip to the Vatican the next day, the museum and the St. Peter's Basilica.
Yeah.
So we went the next day. After the first election, if it's not successful, they switch to doing 2 per day. And everything was saying that there was a front runner. They thought that the guy that ended up being elected, they thought he was the front runner, but they thought it would be a pretty quick turnaround. So we stuck around. We went early morning on day 2 of conclave. Mm-hmm. The shitty part about conclave, if you're visiting the Vatican Museum that day, is they do the conclave in the
St. Peter's Square.
No. They do it in Sistine Chapel.
Oh, in Sistine Chapel, yeah.
So that's part of the
Yeah, I know.
museum
You can't get in.
tour, and you can't get in there because it's locked up.
It's locked up.
Right.
Yep.
So what happens is you have to go in, and then all of a sudden
Gotcha.
you get to the Sistine Chapel. It's locked, so you have to turn around and go back out of the Vatican Museum, walk out into Rome, which is a completely different country technically.
Yep.
And you walk all the way around. It's like 1.5 miles, 2 miles to the entrance of St. Peter's Basilica. Then you can go into. Normally, you can go to the Sistine Chapel. Sistine Chapel, you see all the fresco and whatever in the ceiling, and you walk immediately into St. Peter's Basilica from there. During conclave, you can't do that. So we had to walk. We were there that morning, walked all the way around, and we're like, well, you know what? It's 11 o'clock. We're going to stick around for the smoke, see what happens. black smoke. We're like, fuck. So we went, got some pizza at a nearby place that we had heard about. It was amazing.
Should have got a
Holy
Chicago
shit.
dog.
Shut up. So it was not the amazing pizza. Then we go over to Trastevere, which is like the short north of Columbus, basically, in Rome. Great food, like this up-and-coming gentrified area. They've turned it around. It's a really neat area. As soon as we order our first drink, white smoke, place turns into a party.
A party.
Yes,
Yep.
It was amazing. And we weren't talking, Trina and I. So we could hear them speaking about, American Pope, blah, 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 that kind of thing. The first ever American Pope, even though he was born in Peru or something like that. But he was raised and moved to Chicago early and all that. So it was interesting. It was a really neat experience to be there the day. And we were in the Vatican, St. Peter's Basilica, the day they elected the new Pope. It was really cool.
That's cool you were there because you do hear that, when the white smoke goes, the whole city, it's like a party. So
It was.
cool.
It was really neat. So I think Catholicism in Italy is still pretty damn big.
Mm-hmm.
And even if it's not, the Vatican is still a big deal, and who the Pope is, and
for
whatever.
sure.
So as soon as they announced the Pope, the place turned into Mardi Gras is strong, but there was just a different vibe.
Yeah, different vibe. People.
We were there. Everything was fine. Everyone was
celebrating.
cool. They were chill. As soon as they announced it, it was a different vibe. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't Mardi Gras, but it was a much more celebratory type thing.
Like Miley Cyrus party in the USA.
Nothing like that. Because we were in Italy. And
You swinging on a wrecking ball?
About
came
to.
in like a wrecking ball. No, it was cool though.
Yeah.
So we had a really neat experience because we were there during the conclave. We got there the day of the conclave starting, and then we were there at the Vatican Museum the day the conclave elected the new Pope. That was just such a neat experience. Not only that, it was a Jubilee year. So, they were parading people in from all over, pilgrimages from all over the world. As we were going into St. Peter's Basilica, they were parading. There were people going in groups of 100 singing. It was really
That's so
amazing.
cool, yeah.
So it was.
That was really
packed.
cool that you were there for that.
Yeah, Jubilee year. I was there for a Jubilee year 25 years ago. Went through the Holy Doors, did all that. Was there again. I didn't even think about it being a Jubilee year, and when we made our plans to go, so another Jubilee year, and then the Pope died a week before we left, or 2 weeks before we left, and it's like a 10-day, I think, period of mourning before they start conclave. And I was like, holy shit, when we get there, they're going to be doing conclave. Didn't even occur to me that they do it in the Sistine Chapel. So that kind of sucked because Trina didn't get to see the Sistine Chapel. The last time I was in the Sistine Chapel, they were renovating it or restoring a lot of the artwork. So it was interesting to me because the first time I went there ever, there were dark patches of soot and all that stuff on the ceiling, so you couldn't see all the detail. I was so excited to go back and see now that they've renovated. I'd heard that they left a little square of what it used to look like before the renovation, so that you could kind of understand all the candle burning and all that stuff, what it had done to the ceiling, and then they restored it. But I didn't get to see.
Yeah, my Uncle Tony he didn't get in trouble, but the person right next to him did because you're not
Taking
allowed
pictures.
You're not allowed to take pictures or video in there.
That's actually not true. You're allowed to take pictures.
Or you can't video? Is that what it is?
No, you can't use flash.
Oh.
You can take pictures and you can take video. But
the guy got yelled at for no photos. You can't take.
You can take photos.
Or the POV
so my Uncle Tony was with the camcorder.
You're 100% allowed to take photos. You just can't use a flash. And so many dumbass people take their cameras out and they have their flash turned on.
Does it affect the?
It does.
It does. Yeah.
Over time, and you can imagine the amount of traffic that goes through.
Yeah.
They're like, no
the
photo,
number of
no. They're like, no photo, no photo.
They will say no photo, but you're actually allowed to take photos. You just can't use flash.
With as much of a recluse as Michelangelo was, you think he's up in heaven, get out of my house.
So interesting you talk about that.
Yeah.
Interesting you talk about that. When we were going through the tour, the guy that we had, yeah, take off.
You gotta shit yourself too.
Yeah, Brett's joining Tyler in the toilet.
I am.
In the bowl.
In the bowl.
Hey, if you see Tyler, tell him you missed a great episode.
I will.
Interesting. The guy that gave our tour talked about Michelangelo, Raphael, all the Ninja
Turtles. Okay.
Yeah. And basically was explaining how there was like rivalries at the time.
Oh.
And so Michelangelo was a very well-known, but also kind of looked down upon because he was a loner, didn't like to work with other people. And so, if you go through the Vatican tour, you go through all the different. Don't forget your bottle.
Yeah, don't do it, Tyler.
You can leave that. I'll get that shit. Just get your water, get your bottle. I'll get the rest. So one of the things that was interesting is they talked about in all the different Pope quarters. So they have all these different Pope apartments, and each Pope apartment had a different artist who was basically. What do you call it when you hire someone?
Contracted?
No, it's similar to that, but it's
Commission?
Commission. Mm. So they would commission different artists of the time to do the different Pope rooms and stuff like that. Well, the ones, it was interesting, Raphael and Michelangelo were rivals. Which unless you really know history of the art, like, because, I
remember learning about that because I went to school for art.
The lesser known is Donatello.
One of the rooms that we went to had a picture that was done, or a painting that was done by Raphael. And it was basically Roman culture at the time, and like it was an homage. It might have been Greek, actually, homage to like Greek, Aristotle, Socrates, all that stuff. And so he did all these people, and they were all in groups, doing their stuff. And Raphael even put a picture of himself, immortalizing himself in the background. But then he had a picture, or a painting. In the painting, he had a Michelangelo sitting by himself. And I guess Michelangelo was really just well known at the time as being a loner, not working with other people, didn't like to work with other people, always wore his boots. So there's a guy sitting by himself amongst all these people, arithmetic and all these other things like astronomy, all these people collaborating. He's the only one in the entire painting sitting by himself, and he's sitting there wearing his boots. So you knew it was Michelangelo, and then you got Raphael out off in a corner by himself. I think I have a picture of that painting somewhere. But anyway, it was a really neat thing as our tour guide was telling us all this stuff. I had no idea about any of that stuff. No. You know about Michelangelo, you know about Raphael, you know about Donatello, all these people. But it was just interesting.
Splinter.
And Splinter.
Rocksteady.
The crazy rat, man. But no, it was just really neat, though. It was just really neat.
I love hearing those. I went to school for art, and
so
learned a
you
lot
would
about that in
appreciate
art history. Yeah.
Well, there was a section where Van Gogh had done.
You went to St. John's, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was a painting where Van Gogh had done his version of and it's in the Vatican Museum. He had done his version of some sort of like scene from a famous scene from the Bible. And I don't know what that is. I don't remember specifically, but that is a Van Gogh hanging inside the Vatican. And it was just incredible. Like just all the stories and the interesting stuff behind these apartments and different things like that. It was just
going
really
to the museums in Italy was kind of like my favorite thing, just to see these paintings that I'd only seen pictures of in school. And
but you know what the most interesting thing to me was? Every church, every museum, everything that you went to was so ornately decorated compared to like what you see here now. Like you couldn't go to just a general corner of the freaking block church had these amazing sculptures and paintings and all these things, and we're like, but like you couldn't do that today. It just doesn't happen today.
So when I went to Spain and Portugal, my friend Patrick was obsessed with with seeing churches. And it's like we went down a rabbit hole. Like we went to see one church in Portugal and then Spain. And then he wanted to go to every church because every church was so gorgeous and ornately designed, to his point. And like you just don't see that anymore.
No.
But yeah. We also went to a bullfight, which is pretty crazy.
Oh, that's cool.
We went to a bullfight and then we sat in this, we went to a restaurant right after the bullfight. No, it's brutal. But you go to this restaurant. We went to a restaurant like right after it. That was like next door.
Is it the bull you're eating?
Well, here's the thing. So we're in there and then all of a sudden we're just like eating our dinner. Then all of a sudden you hear, like people are clapping. Yeah. Then all of a sudden this guy's bringing in this tray, and then he like lays it down, and it's like this like moment that happens, and we're kind of looking over, and we see like this long thing. It was like a sausage. It was actually the bull's penis that they.
That's pretty common.
Yeah, so like it's like they cook it and whatever, and they share. It's kind of like when the bullfighter wins, this is how they celebrate.
I mean, I'll watch other people.
They eat his dick.
Yeah. So anyway, so then the food
they threw it on the ground.
Now, aside from that part, the food was so good that we went back there like the last night we were there because the food was so delicious. And all of a sudden it happens again, and then all of a sudden he puts it down, and then we're like looking at it, and we see like this little.
Were the beans above the frank?
I'm like, what is that? And so we asked the guy. Like, what happened? He goes, sometimes the bull wins.
So you were eating the bullfighter. You were eating the bullfighter.
Oh, just a little joke. I figured I'd.
I love that. That's awesome. It kind of made me think of that old Chevy Chase movie where he's eating the testicles. Oh, yeah. They're like, 3 more, and you got the record.
Funny Farm.
Yeah.
Lamb fries. He was eating lamb fries.
Excuse me, what?
Very nice.
And he spit it like they have it up. He's got like 121, and he spits out 3, and then he erase it and move it to 118.
Yeah.
That was a really good one. That's a great.
He's looking
movie.
old.
This was good.
Who? Bill
Chevy Chase.
Oh yeah, he is old. He is old. All right,
this was good.
That was a good episode, man. Thank you for, as always, gracing us with a shit.
Make sure you take photos of all the bottles.
Put them out there, and I'll take a picture.
Quick PSA. We went back to the Star Hill Farms, and it holds up to everything that we've had.
100%. It
Tell
does
me, man,
100%.
that Star Hill Farms is a nice little gem for 2025. There you go. We put all these here. Oh, last one.
Yeah. Man, thank you. Seriously. You always bring over like a ridiculous collection of stuff, and it's... Yeah, thank you, JD.
Should I move that one over a little bit?
It's good. It's good.
Okay.
I like the a little bit of
on the nose. I think the Michters was my favorite nose.
Yeah, the Michters was a good nose.
I can see that.
But on the palate, I really like that.
That Star Hill
Farms is good.
I'm telling you, man,
it's good.
Makers has something with that.
I would agree.
I'm gonna pick one up for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, next time, when I see one.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining in, guys. We've had 2 Code Browns tonight. One from Tyler, one from Brett.
Look for me on the Mashup KY podcast.
Yeah, that'll be out way before this comes out.
Probably.
Well, maybe not. Because this is actually coming out this Wednesday. Yeah. Join in next week when who knows what the hell we're going to talk about. But thanks for joining in, guys, and hope to see you next week.
Cheers.
All right. Well, that wraps up this episode. Thank you for joining in on yet another hunt for great bourbon. Please give us a 5-star review anywhere you are listening. But if you don't, leave us some constructive criticism in the review so that we can better improve our show. But until then, sit back, grab a pour, kick up your feet, and enjoy some bourbon.
Tune in each week. Sit back. Tune in each week. Grab a pour. Tune in each week. Kick up your feet and enjoy. Kick up your feet and enjoy.
The Bourbon Hunters podcast has been craft distilled, produced, recorded, and edited by Dude Pool. For any feedback, questions, or episode ideas, please reach out to info@bourbonhunters.com.